77 characters to choose from, but who is the best choice to use for your Dokkan thank you tickets? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are talking about who is the best choice to use your Dokkan thank you celebration tickets for. These are the tickets that you get through various missions, logins, and the Porunga wishes that allow you to exchange for up to 7 of these special characters from the thank you celebration in this November. There is 77 characters in total, and that makes it a pretty tough choice to make since you can only pick 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the top 5 that I think you should choose from this list, and I'm going to take it a step further and make it not just a top 5, but the characters I think from each typing would be the best throughout that top 5. So we're gonna go ahead and jump right in with the number 1 best choice out of all of them. Happens to be an AGL unit, and that is the AGL Trunks and Mai. On a future Saga team, these guys are hands down one of the best banner unit sub EZAs to come around. They have an insane amount of damage reduction when attacking as long as all allies are future Saga. They do actually put out quite a bit of damage, especially if you have some additionals in them to gain some extra attack and defense, because they are greatly raising their attack and defense. So that second super is going to end up hitting twice as hard as the first one did. To add to that, right, they're very, very good for the Dismal Future Red Zone because they get an extra buff when facing Zamasu or Goku Black. But as we've seen in their showcase, like, we took these guys into Sen and they tanked normals from Sen pretty well all the way through the fight. So they are pretty insane. They also do have a very powerful active skill, and provided that you don't let them get hit that turn, they're going to deal quite a bit of damage for that active skill. So, honestly, out of all 77 characters, they would probably be your number 1 choice if you didn't have them. But they are definitely the number 1 choice for the AGL typing out of all the characters here. So that's it for AGL. Let's move on. Let's check out the tech typing. So tech typings, we have a few to choose from here, right? You see, we've got the Karoli, we've got the Tech Cooler, we've got Janembu, we've got Tech Trunks, the other Tech Trunks, we got Toa, Bola, we've got Tech Vegeta, Raditz, Kaioken Goku, Tech Vegeta, Tech Super Saiyan Bardock, and the Tech Super Saiyan Vegeta. This one was actually kind of a tough one, but I think overall the most useful unit that you're going to get the most use out of probably for various types of missions is probably going to be, where is he? This guy here, the Tech Janembu. Out of all of these post EZA, he's probably the best. He suffers from the same problem that all Majin Buu units currently have, is that they don't really have a good 200% team. But he himself is actually really good because he's got guard, right? He can dodge. He's infinitely stacking defense. He ends up being really, really good next to the likes of characters like Kid Buu or Super Buu. He is really good and probably the best choices out of the techs. Runner up here would probably be this Super Saiyan Vegeta. If not him, probably the Tech Trunks. Otherwise, the rest of the guys probably don't have that much use. The Tech Whis is alright, but there is a better Whis option throughout this list. Speaking of a better Whis option, when we look at the int types, it's pretty much the same as the tech type, right? There aren't too many characters that have a good choice with them, but I think the number 1 pick, if you were missing any of them, are probably the Int Whis. This dude is really, really good, and he'll be really good especially for the upcoming EZA Beerus, right? If you don't have a good partner for him, this guy's going to fill that role for you, as well as supporting him, right? Because he buffs Realm of Gods, he buffs Bond of Master and Disciple allies. So basically, if you've got both of them together, the buffs you know, the buffs are additive, so they will add together, kind of like how Int Vados works, right? So very, very nice there. He's a great partner for the Beerus, so I would definitely say he's the #1 pick. Thanks to his sub-easy A. From there, though, we move on to the STR types. There's quite a few to choose from the STR types, but out of all of them, I do think one stands out in particular, and that is... where is he here? Right here, the Outburst of Emotion, Raid Vegeta. Post EZA, right, he's pretty good. He has the counter mechanic. He can reduce damage from most normals. He's not taking any big supers, right, but if you can put him in front of a bunch of normals, he's probably gonna be all right. To add into that, right, he does have his Rage mode, which is pretty okay. It's not the best Rage mode or not the best giant form mechanic we have, but it's all right. It's there. Really what you're using him for here is to stall here in his Bulma and Vegeta form, where you can also counter. But I do believe out of all the choices here, he's probably the best. The STR God Goku's probably a close second. For the Fizz typing, you guys have probably already seen the Fizz Bardock. He is definitely the best choice out of all the Fizz options here, right? There really aren't too many good options. I mean, unless you need like a Super Saiyan 3 character to help you fill Super Saiyan 3 Extreme Super Battle Road or something, I really do think the Fizz Bardock is probably the best choice. And it's mostly because, right, he's getting all this extra defense. Now, he does need to be hit first, but once he gets hit, he is guarding all of attacks. In addition to that, plus he's also supporting all allies and greatly raising his defense. So as long as he can survive that very first hit, he is solid in most cases, right? So definitely the best pick for your 77 tickets. Now, that is at least one from each of the typings. Now, of course, you do have 7 tickets in total, so out of the 5 typings, you can still choose 2 more. So I did have a few runner-ups. Number 1 for the AGL type is the AGL TUR Golden Frieza, right? His ability to have 90% damage reduction, 40% or more HP is still pretty good, even in some of the most hardest events in the game currently. So I would still definitely say he's a good pick, although a lot of events have been limiting him because of his nuking type lead, but in events where he's not limited because of that, he's very, very helpful. For the Int type, I did mention that there was another runner-up, and that is the Int Beerus. This guy, given time to build, is actually pretty good. However, he will need one of those Whis to help you with him. So if you pick up the Int Whis, you've got the STR Whis and the Fizz Beerus and the STR Beerus and Whis. He's got some pretty good partners to work around, and given the time to build up, as we saw back during Saiyan Day in his showcases, he's actually all right. He's not that bad, right? He's not the greatest of the EZAs that came out of that batch, but he can make do, right? Obviously, though, if you have the Fizz one, he's going to be the better option. But otherwise, you know, that's pretty much it. There aren't too many other choices to go with. You have 7. They're all banner units. I'm honestly surprised. I think in years prior, Int Mai was on here, but they took her off. Probably for good reason. She is an insanely powerful unit. She can't be touched as long as she's super attacking first and on a Future Saga Time Travelers team. So surprised they took her off, but she would have definitely been the best choice over all of them. Otherwise, you know, you have the AGL Trunks and Mai. Definitely #1 pick out of everything. Now, you could go one of each type. You could go all 5 of one type. It's up to you, whatever you decide to use your tickets on. I'm just here to make the recommendation for who I think is the best out of each type. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know, who are you going to choose with your 7 tickets? I don't really need anybody, so me personally, I'm just picking up units to get ready for the upcoming chain battles. But I would love to hear what you guys are grabbing with your tickets in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.